Michigan Congressman and chair of the House Education and Workforce Committee, Tim Walberg. Good morning, Congressman. When you see the video that we just saw of the attacks in Brooklyn, I mean, what's your reaction to that?
Oh, it's disgust. It's sadness that in America, a place that all people ought to be free, all people ought to have the opportunity to live according to their religious dictates, their faith principles, and even have disagreements. And yet, in the end, we're all Americans, and we ought to support each other. So to see this and knowing what's been going on in the world with the bad actors, to see this taking place in Brooklyn is just wrong. And that's why we have to take strong aim at it and show that there's going to be a response that's swift, that's significant, and that true Americans will unite together for freedom for all.
Could you tell us more about that letter that you sent to Columbia University and what steps you expect them to take to crack down on anti-Semitism on campus?
Well, first of all, very simply, we expect them to crack down on anti-Semitism anywhere, any place on their campuses, and be a catalyst for helping that happen in other parts of community as well. Our letter expressed great concern. Columbia was one of the universities that we brought before the Education Workforce Committee last term, and ultimately one of the presidents that ultimately had to resign and be removed from their office and replaced by interim now. We've had opportunity to meet with the new president. We've asked about some of the concerns that continue on. We've asked why there wasn't the response that they said they would give, including expulsion of some of the students and removal of any type of bad actors off campus that would come from the outside. We have expressed great concern about the Faculty Senate and how they have pushed back continuously against taking the right action in defense of all students and their freedom on campus, and literally for Hamas and the anti-Israeli factions and pro-Palestinian factions. So we've asked those questions. We've said, why hasn't it taken place? Why was there a classroom invaded 3 days after I met with the president in my office, where anti-Jewish propaganda was put forth, the classroom was taken over. Ultimately, we were told that those students involved were going to be expelled. They haven't been. And in fact, an apology was made by the president for how it was handled, handling of the erring students that were in the classroom. So we're going to push back. The letter asks numerous questions: how, when, why, where, and what you're going to do with it in a timeline. Otherwise, they'll be in front of our committee again.
Yeah, and one of the most important things, and you wrote this in your letter to Columbia University, is that they receive billions of dollars in federal funding. And if the issues that you've mentioned aren't addressed, do you think Congress has the will, the backbone to actually just cut it off and say we're done with it?
I think it does. I truly think it does. It's coming to that point where it's becoming offensive to all sides here. This can't continue. This isn't America. It's not how it should be. And I think it can be a bipartisan effort to say, if you're going to continue this, then we're going to withdraw your funds. The president had made strong statements on that as well, that not only DEI, but also anti-Semitic activities allowed, in fact, perpetrated on campuses, will necessitate the removal of federal funds. We hope that will get their attention. This is America again. There ought to be freedom and opportunity for all.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.